Hey, what we're gonna show today is the ability to boot 4,000 VMs running on a single X2-S array. So as you can see here, I've got my VMware Horizon set up. I've got 4,000 VMs that only one of them is powered up. Indeed, if I go to the vSphere web client, I'm gonna see all the 4,000 VMs here. You can scroll down to all of them and you can see it's ended with 4,000. And if I go back to the XtremIO array, you can see it doesn't really do too much. That's because, as I said, only one VM is powered up on that array. I've just composed the pool of these 4,000 link-clone VMs, so as you can see, very small capacity is used. Obviously, it will grow over time, depending on how much you're going to actually use these VMs and how frequent you refresh and recompose the pool. But that's how much it consumes to start with. So let's go back to the array, and what I'm going to do now, I have this free watch utility here, free stopwatch utility that I'm going to use to basically measure exactly how long does it take to boot up all the VMs. So I'm going to select all the VMs and press power on. And once the actual power up will start, it's going to take a couple of seconds for DRS to calculate which host should start which VM. I'm going to actually start the stopwatch utility. And then we're going to go back to View Horizon and see exactly how long did it took to boot 4,000 VMs. So you see it's almost starting, but it hasn't started yet. Okay, the power up has just started, so I'm starting the stopwatch utility. And I'm going to suspend there and resume the recording every couple of minutes to see the progress itself. And then again, we're also going to measure it against the array data itself. Okay, so let's refresh here. We can see that after 3 minutes and 36 seconds, we have 764 VMs ready to log in. After 4 minutes and 18 seconds, we have 1,162 VMs ready to log in. After 6 minutes and 30 seconds, I have 2,300 VDI VMs ready to be logged in. After 7 minutes and 40 seconds, I have 3,881 VMs. And after 9 minutes and 20 seconds, pretty much have all of them logged in. So let's just conclude that within 9 minutes and 30 seconds, I've got all my VMs logged in. So that's it. That's pretty awesome time compared to XtremIO X1. Just to put things in notion, in X1 to boot 2,500 VDI VMs, it took roughly 12 minutes. In X2, 4,000 VMs running Windows 10, which is heavier than the Windows 7 that I use on X1, took only 9 minutes and 33 seconds to boot them all up and be available for the VDI users to be logged in. Let's actually go back to the array itself and see the load. So we can see that at the peak of the load, we consume roughly 266,000 IOPS. And if we go back to the blocks reporting, we can have a nice metric showing us the exact blocks that were used. So for example, here we can see the load, and we can see that when you do a bootstorm, there's a lot of blocks over 1 meg that, as you can see here, roughly equate 192 gig of the bandwidth that the array consume for the booting itself. Just nice histogram, and as you can see here, you can see all the blocks in a different type of reporting. Again, very useful, super important for both X1 and X2 to get this type of reporting, not just for your boot state, but for your steady state and other operations as well. Thank you very much.